The holographic projection flickered in the sterile chamber of the Galactic Council, casting an ethereal blue glow across the assembled representatives. 14 alien species, each claiming dominion over vast swaths of the galaxy, had gathered for what they believed would be a simple administrative matter. The newest species, humanity, had proven problematic. Ambassador Zethkar of the hegemony leaned forward, his crystalline exoskeleton catching the light as he addressed the assembly. The humans refused to comply with Galactic Standard 847b. They continued to expand beyond their designated solar system. A ripple of agreement passed through the chamber. The Vorthon delegate, a being of pure energy contained within a metallic framework, pulsed with irritation. They were given clear boundaries. 1 system, 12 worlds. More than generous for such a primitive species. Primitive. The voice belonged to Dr. Sarah Chen, Earth's sole representative, who sat in the human observation pod, barely larger than a closet compared to the massive seats designed for the Council's founding species. We went from first flight to faster than light. Travel in less than 70 years. How long did it take your species? The question hung in the air like a challenge. Zethkar's mandibles clicked in what passed for laughter among his kind. Speed without wisdom leads to destruction, human. Your species exhibits concerning traits: aggression, unpredictability, refusal to accept proper hierarchy. Dr. Chen stood, her small frame dwarfed by the enormous chamber yet somehow commanding attention. You mean we refuse to bow? Precisely. The word came from Overlord Thane, whose species had ruled the galaxy's eastern spiral for 3 millennia. Every civilization must know its place. You will submit to resource quotas, population limits, and technological restrictions, or face the consequences. The ultimatum was clear. 14 species, each possessing weapons that could crack planets, stood united against one small blue world on the galaxy's rim. It should have been a foregone conclusion. 3 months later, the first Council enforcement fleet arrived at the edge of the Sol system, expecting to find a cowering world ready to negotiate. Instead, they found something unprecedented. Commander Veltar of the enforcement fleet stared at his tactical display in disbelief. Repeat that reading. Sir, our sensors detect over 2,000 armed vessels protecting Earth. Energy signatures suggest, sir, they're primitive but numerous, and they're broadcasting a message on all frequencies. The message was simple, delivered in Dr. Chen's calm voice. You wanted to see what humans do when backed into a corner. This is what we do. We fight. The fleet numbered 300 ships, each one capable of devastating entire continents. By all logic, this should have been a massacre. The humans had barely discovered antimatter, still used kinetic weapons alongside energy systems, and their ships were held together with what the hegemony databases listed as duct tape and determination. But humanity had done something no Council species had ever considered. They had weaponized their entire civilization. Every human colony ship had been designed with dual purposes. Every cargo vessel carried hidden armaments. Every mining station doubled as a weapons platform. In 3 months, humanity had converted their entire infrastructure into the largest distributed defense network the galaxy had ever seen. The battle lasted 6 hours. When it ended, the Council enforcement fleet was gone. Not destroyed, captured. Every ship, every crew member taken intact through coordinated boarding actions that utilized humanity's greatest advantage. They were absolutely, unequivocally insane by galactic standards. While other species sent warriors or drones, humans sent scientists, engineers, teenagers with jury-rigged equipment, and elderly veterans who treated the vacuum of space like just another workplace hazard. They swarmed the Council ships with a creativity that bordered on the incomprehensible. A welder named Jake Morrison had disabled a hegemony dreadnought by literally taping explosives to its hull and detonating them in sequence to create harmonic vibrations that shattered the ship's crystalline control systems. A teenage hacker named Lu Wei had taken control of 3 Vorthon vessels by exploiting what she called really bad password security in their energy matrices. The galaxy watched the recordings in stunned silence. Overlord Thane spoke first, during the emergency council session. They're supposed to be primitive. How did they? Because you've been thinking like conquerors. Dr. Chen's voice interrupted as her hologram appeared in the chamber. Somehow, humanity had hacked into the council's private communications. You see the universe as territory to be divided. We see it as problems to be solved. Zethkar's exoskeleton darkened with rage. You've made an enemy of the entire galaxy, human. We will crush your... No, Dr. Chen's interruption was quiet but absolute. You'll negotiate, because we have your fleets, your crews, and your tactical databases. But more importantly, you've just learned what every bully eventually discovers. Sometimes the smallest kid in the yard hits back. The recording that spread across the galaxy showed her next words clearly. Humanity doesn't kneel. We build ladders and climb up to meet you at eye level. The question is, do you want us as enemies, or as the galaxy's newest problem solvers? In the end, the Council chose negotiation, not because they feared humanity's military might, but because they feared humanity's potential. A species that could turn their entire civilization into a weapon in 3 months could probably solve the galaxy's energy crisis, cure the Vorthan plague, or find a way past the Dark Nebula barrier. The territorial boundaries were quietly rescinded. Trade agreements replaced ultimatums, and humanity, as they always had, kept reaching for the stars, not as conquerors, but as the galaxy's most persistent neighbors. Some said Earth had refused to kneel. Dr. Chen preferred to think humanity had simply stood up.